Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. And you'll have to forgive this sound on my laptop that the criminals destroyed the fan. So you'll hear a hum in the background. It's February 8th, 2024, 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm going to share a testimony story. And this is a friend of mine. She is a targeted person, and she's not with us anymore. She's gone. Okay, so I moved to Kentucky in May of 2019, and she and I had plans on getting together because she lived in Tennessee. We'd had a couple of podcasts together with Romola D, where we provided testimony and evidence and discussed other things in the community. Kim was a registered nurse. She worked at a hospital. She was married, had a daughter, 2 daughters. And she actually had a couple of dogs, and then after they got rid of 2 of her dogs, they tortured and killed 2 of her dogs, she got another dog. So I'm just going to read some of the emails that she provided me. She was one of the first people to send me the ACLU research, Trapped in a Black Box, Growing Terrorism, Watch Listing, and Everyday Policing. She sent it to me, I think it was in 2018 or 2019. So this email is dated September 13, 2018. Please hit the thumbs up. Welcome, newcomers. I'm going to share testimony of my deceased friend, Kim Straub, because she has specifically provided me information. She said if anything happens to her, please save this and share it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to honor her wishes. Hello, Lorraine. I've listened to you on the calls. Please call me if you would like to talk about my real estate mobbing. Of course, I had 2 dogs that were tortured and killed as well. Please call me. You can contact me at the email address above. Okay, so that was in 2018. She already had 2 tortured dogs. And then she provided me with a photo. She said, I woke up with this. And I'm going to show you what she woke up with. And this is going to be my thumbnail, I believe. That is Kim's eye. They burned her eye. There you go. This is evidence of them torturing Kim Straub, registered nurse. And then they unalived her. They claim that she committed the unthinkable. But she never would. She was Christian. She actually said to me, if anything ever happens to me, I would never take my life. So that is Kim. Then she gave me some information. She says, X-ray and through-the-wall visualization. These are devices that she did research on. So let me show you the research. One is called the Milwaukee Thermal Imager M12. It's $895. Now, mind you, this is several years ago. Let me show you what it looks like. And I'm just holding this, so this is what it looks like. And here's another one. This is the Bosch wall scanner. Okay, it's a Bosch wall scanner, but these are expensive items. They're, $800-900. But nevertheless, if you're going to court, it would be a good idea to invest in these items and then put it on your list of items that need to be reimbursed by the criminals. Then she said that she was able to find her implants with a stud finder. And it was a Stanley Edge stud finder. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay. She was able to locate and trigger her implants with this Stanley Edge stud finder. And then she said I think this is how they perform surveillance. She provided me with an article, Improving Public Health Surveillance. It's the CDC's goal for federally supported surveillance activities to get the right information into the right hands at the right time. A strategic plan to improve surveillance at the CDC was launched February 2014 to better achieve this goal. Their strategy was to plan for surveillance focused on the CDC must do to make a greater use of established data standards, decrease unnecessary redundancies and reporting burdens on the state and local health departments, reduce the number of standalone systems along with partners. They continue to address ongoing challenges as well as broader health data issues to meet a changing landscape confronting the agency and public health, improving public health surveillance. This is February 2014. Remember, Kim was a registered nurse, so she frequently had this sort of information pass her desk. So let me scroll on. She said a family member texted her with her false DX from her last hospitalization. This is illegal. How did he have this information? I questioned him, but he refused to answer her question. And then she gives me an attachment, just a little. This is from a Brian, B-R-Y-O-N. Kim writes, I'm definitely not crazy. And then he says, you have been diagnosed as paranoid delusional, bipolar, get help. She responds, how do you know what I've been diagnosed with? And then he says, may I have your permission to show Bill all of your research? Kim says, I've shown him. He doesn't want to communicate with you. He's too busy. So let me show you the text message. Just so you see that I'm not making this up. Okay? So this is a family member who is a perp. Her family member named Brian is a perp. He had access to medical information of Kim. And this was a false diagnosis, by the way. I'm going to tell you why. This is what happened with Kim. Kim had a bunch of flyers that she was distributing on behalf of targeted justice. She was distributing flyers on behalf of targeted justice. Such a good girl she was. The police saw her and rounded her up and brought her to a mental health clinic. So I'm going to play. This is October 2nd, 2018. Okay, and remember, the Manalapan police did the same thing to me. December 10, 2018. Oh, the criminal cops, they're on a roll. They're on a roll. They're the ones that should be locked up for being crazy, for being delusional, right? Anyway, I'm speaking on behalf of my deceased friend, Kim Straub. And please, let's listen to her voice message that she left for me after the police arrested her for distributing flyers for targeted justice.
I was just calling to say hey and tell you that I was handing out flyers at some places I went, and I ended up going. There was a theft report I was following at the police station, and they started asking about my mental health. And I said, can we get back to the death report, because it's my private information? And he asked me if I had a gun, and I said I did, but that was my constitutional right. And I said, can we get back to the death report? And he just started getting, he just came from behind and started handcuffing me. And I accidentally resisted because I couldn't believe I was getting handcuffed. And they took me to Lakeside Mental Health Facility. And they put me on the worst unit, the most low-functioning unit. And, it, you know, of course, it's horrible here. And I asked what the police said to get me in here. The whole time I was saying, what are you going to lie about say to get me in there? Because I'm not a harm to myself or others, and I'm not psychotic. And I kept asking that all the way till he dropped me off at the facility.
Okay, so what Kim is saying here, she says, I'm not a harm to myself or others. So what's the reason you're taking me to Lakeside Behavioral? She said it's one of the lower functioning places in the area. She's a registered nurse, she should know. One second, it just disappeared.
Took me in the facility. Then I asked the nurse finally what he said, and he said that I was going to shoot up the government. And I've been calling and complaining to the police, which I never did. And I never...
Okay, so what she's saying is that the police lied. Kim lives in Tennessee. Just like Kentucky, you can carry a firearm. And she had a legally open carry firearm on her. The police lied and said that she's going to shoot up the place. She's distributing flyers for targeted justice.
But the word government, never once. And I never said I was going to shoot up anybody, of course. And there's no recordings of me calling the police. It's all fabrication.
There are no recordings of her ever calling the police. It's all fabricated.
And then they said that somebody had reported me for stalking and said I was taking pictures of them.
And then somebody allegedly reported her for stalking.
And what I did is I was being stalked earlier that day, and I took a picture of somebody. And so anyway, in a license plate. And so they said that I reported that. And anyway, it's total fabrication, total lies. And I'm here, and I got here yesterday. So if you could spread the word and let everybody know what's going on. And I'm trying to find Millicent. I had her number, and she had called and left her number. And but anyway, it's at Lakeside. Hold on.
It was Lakeside Behavioral Health.
Behavioral Health. Bye. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, she had to get off the phone. So there you go. Kim Straub, registered nurse, arrested by a cop that claimed that she was going to shoot up the place. And that a stalker, somebody reported her. Somebody reported her. It's all fabricated, just the way the Manalapan Police Department did with me 2 months later. These cops have an agenda. They're disgusting. Okay, so I'm going to read some more information from Kim. Okay, this is sharing testimony stories about my friend Kim Straub. So she has been doing some research, and back then she discovered this. She discovered her name on a website about gene enhancement therapies. Okay, here you go. Scheme for Gene Hancer, Gene Hancer, Hancer, regulatory elements and gene interactions. And then it tells you, gives you the samples and stuff. But she found her name here, as if she was being submitted for gene enhancement. Okay? And Kim then woke up with a covert implantation on her left hand. And this is an identity number 127277-536. This is allegedly a file that she found online pertaining to her. So we're all given an identity number. She woke up with this bruise on her eye. Directed energy weapon. This is her X-ray showing that there is an implant right here where my cursor is. Right here where my cursor is. This is an X-ray of her chest. This is showing an implant, a pin up in her shoulder area. Look at that. Where did that come from? And Kim does not smoke, drink, or do drugs, and she's a Christian woman. She woke up with a bruise on her knee. Another bruise on her knee. And the telltale little slice, right? The little slice right there. This is one of her perpetrators. That's the license plate that she grabbed the day that she was pulled out by the police, saying that she was going to blow up the place. Yeah. Okay, so here, this is one of those files. Molecular formula. It's called SMILES. Classification codes: agricultural, chemical, growth regulator, fertilizer, plant growth regulator. And she was being experimented on for that purpose. Here's a closer up. Okay, I think that's it on the photos, but let me take you to, one second. Okay, this is what she gave to me. So we're going to go back here so I can read this. Sharing testimony stories, my friend Kim Straub. She sends me an email. Please keep, if anything happens, names of people involved in my targeting. Kim Straub at protonmail.com. She sent this email to Romola, Millicent, a woman named Paula, Frank, Allen, Neil, and Midge Mathis from Targeted Justice. Human traffickers involved in my targeting and in my family's targeting. Hive mind criminals. She writes, Philip Bendall, Bendall, Richard Wheeler. I can't really say this. Chris Howell, Charlene Lenegar, Susan Hatfield, Barry Shelton. Charlene Lengar's son is a DHS intelligence analyst. Susan Hatfield is the FBI. Then she says criminal police. David Townsend, Officer Hubbard, and Officer Dunley. Medical criminals. the Lakeside Behavioral Health. Dr. Ijaz Verk, Dr. Tellender Saini, Dr. Lee Song Fu electronically assaulted her twice. Once at Lakeside Behavioral Health and during her stay, October 1, 2018, October 7, 2018, Lowell with the VA hospital. Neighbors: Sergeant Witten Ortega, Memphis Police Department Internet Crimes Human Trafficking Unit. Melinda Ortega and her daughter, Haley, and son, Meredith Hall, Jessica White and Kevin White, David and Angela Moss, Ryan White, Dr. Gregory Shannon, Ben Paprocki. Ben is responsible for a great deal of my home break-ins. Terry Gerund poisoned her 2 dogs and poisoned her mature trees and cut down a miniature plum tree. In 2018, Amanda Hamilton, in the beginning of her targeting, stole her keys for a day, copied and distributed her keys. Then there was the HOA chairman and a Dr. Ford, a dentist. Let's scroll down. What else she got here? Darlene Jane Steller blocked her calls from speaking with her father. She was able to have my father change his will, removing my brother and I from inheritance. She took my father to get him diagnosed with Alzheimer's. She has been human trafficking him. She stated that I was not allowed to enter my father's house. This house was paid off a few years before she was involved with my father. She'd also sent me an email. She said if anything happens to her, she said it's the Freemasons. She says, hello, I woke up with this yesterday a.m. I did not injure it. I was scheduling my RF scan. This is where I was chipped after being drugged in December 2014. I witnessed and remembered the chipping. I didn't know what was happening at the time of the insertion. I was unaware of TI issues or chipping at the time. They are removing my evidence. Please keep this. This was in 2019. I remember she gave this to me. It was very difficult for me at the time because I was moving here. I wasn't able to keep on top of all of the information that she was sending to me. Let's see. Skizit from Citizens Against Harmful Technology wrote a stellar letter on behalf of Kim, October 5, 2018, to Lakeside Behavioral Health in Memphis, Tennessee. I won't read it all because it is written by Skizit, but I will say that she said that she was writing on behalf of Miss Kim Straub. We received information that she's being held at the facility and was delivered there against her will. By the police department. Kim was exercising her First Amendment rights of free speech in the form of distributing flyers created by one of our Alliance affiliate nonprofit organizations regarding the program involved in implanting, torturing, and killing targeted individuals, and was illegally detained. Kim Straub contacted our organization several months ago when she realized that she lost sovereignty over her person and her personal privacy had been supremely violated. She had been drugged and covertly implanted with multiple electronic devices and had been assaulted By microwave energy, the wireless body area network and individual implants can be operated with frequencies, and we're well aware of the serious implications which these criminal activities bring upon a person, both emotionally and physically. Every human has every expectation of uncompromised control of their person and medical care. She has received implants which have no medical use and were not placed in her body for medical reasons or by authorized medical personnel. They are being operated by other than the medical personnel, which violates FCC laws. She has sent us images of her injuries and the x-rays of her unauthorized implants, and I shared with you those x-rays demonstrating that she does in fact have implants in her body. We're an organization whose members have been assaulted and covertly implanted in violation of civil rights. We've published websites and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read all of this, that she's talking about her organization here. It's about a national human rights program, etc. Let's get back to... okay, so the police are involved in coordinating the covert implantation. They are criminals in this regard and coordinate gang-stalking attacks with police vehicles and personnel. Thus, the program plan involves 1. Provoke and antagonize. 2. Get a reaction from the target demonstrating irritation, anger, a sense of violation. 3. Target protests, which might include handing out flyers in front of the police station. Whereafter, 4. They accuse the target of having a mental condition which requires professional attention. 5. Arrest the target for a mental health evaluation. We understand that institutions like Lakeside also take part in this program by pretending that police have mental conditions that people have mental conditions that they do not have in order to obtain federal and state funds. This is an atrocious program against the citizens of this nation. This has been perpetrated on Kim. We ask that Kim be released with a clean record. She has never exhibited any criminal or aggressive behavior, which could be construed as having a mental disorder. Peacefully handing out flyers is not indicative of a mental disorder. She is participating in an educational program with our organization. We have tried with no success to have her contact us. The front desk people use the excuse that they don't know what unit she's in. All we ask is to have her call us. We left a message and we were met with very rude, unhelpful, antagonistic people. George, the patient advocate, has not returned our call. Kim is well connected with friends and is in contact with this community on a daily or weekly basis. She has never shown any signs of wishing to harm herself or others. While we do not represent her as a legal attorney representative, we do represent her as a friend and an organization made up of other individuals who have been and are suffering from programs such as this one Kim has been placed in. Antagonized, accused of being crazy, arrest. This is a well-organized plan of various agencies and entities. We hope in the future to bring justice to all the people who have suffered at the hands of those who would discredit sincere and natural reactions to injustice, pain, suffering, and torture. This program dehumanizes, demeans, and humiliates and robs honest people of their sense of well-being. This program should be abolished in its entirety because it is based on Nazi stalking, doxing. Please feel free to contact me, blah, 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 blah. Now, I know for a fact that Kim sent me an email that I saved that is not here. I don't see it here. Kim sent me an email that I saved, and she said if anything happens to me, it's the Freemasons. She said in her email, I would never take my own life. She would walk around with her, I guess when she got a new dog, in a body bag, a wraparound bag that wrapped around her body, and she would tuck her dog in there and take her dog with her wherever she went. So, on behalf of my friend Kim Straub, registered nurse, Christian woman, 2 daughters, animal lover, good person. She would never take her own life. She was being tortured and implanted. And the proof is right here in her x-rays. Please rest in peace, Kim. I did save what you asked me to save. And I am so sorry that you are not here. But you have left so much important and useful information behind. Gene enhancing. We're all given a number on a database. Our experimental number. Oh, and she also gave me a University of Santa Cruz, a seal. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to open this. Let's see. University of Santa Cruz. It's not opening. It's under a different program and stuff. I might be able to open it some other way. And she sent this pub, Chem, Pubchem. There's a deposit date, 11/29/2016, and a modified date of 11/29/2016, and then an available date, November 29, 2016. What were they doing to Kim? How were they experimenting on her? Inquiring minds want to know. But anyway, I'm glad to have this recording of Kim. And Kim, rest in peace. You are not forgotten. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading signing off for now.